Yes, since we can only accommodate 200 participants in this link, we would like to inform one and all that the activity is also live streamed in our Spark TV channel, and the link will be posted by Planning Officer Iljan Abukay here in our chat box.
Buwang na mangod.
Our morning greetings to our school's division superintendent, Ma'am Jean G. Veloso, to our assistant schools division superintendent, Ma'am Myra P. Mibato, to the division chiefs, SGOD Chief Susan Epifania Carpio, CID Chief Anakleta Gakasan, to the section heads, school heads, department heads, and to the teachers who are all joining us. We have 190 participants in all. An amazing Tuesday morning to each one of us. Sparkle Diamonds of the Portraits, DepEd Ozamiz, presents this DepEd Ozamiz at your service, an online orientation for teachers and school leaders. And we are now on for our day 2 of the activity. To start with, ladies and gentlemen, let's first have the prayer, and this will be followed immediately by the singing of the national anthem.
Thank you. Prayers against COVID-19. Thank you, Lord, for this new day, for waking us up this morning in our sound mind as we are privileged to worship you. We proclaim your reign in our lives and our nation and all the earth. We give thanks as always to you, Lord. You are in charge of this day. We pray for wisdom of our policymakers and our leaders, for the safety of our frontline workers, for healing those who are affected with the coronavirus disease and their families. Remove all fear, Lord, and replace this fear with affirmation from your word. In Jesus' name, Amen.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Ayaw magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hiniram, dulot na ng magiging, sa manlulukin, di ko masisingil, sa lahat ng tulog, sa singil at sa lalim mong bahang, maginang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na nagilingin, ang
Thank you, Ms. Chen. We are warmly welcoming you all to this DepEd Ozamiz at your service, an online orientation for teachers and school leaders. And we are now on our day 2 of the activity. To follow, ladies and gentlemen, is the attendance check, and this will be facilitated by our PDO1, Project Development Officer 1 for Youth or the Youth Formation Coordinator. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. John Lian D. Izarraga.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope that you are all fine. I hope that you're all happy today. Now let's call in the participants from the different districts. If you are from District 1, please type in number 1 in the chat box. Yes, and the first to answer number 1 is their PSDS, Ma'am Jasmine Gao. Okay, number 1. All right, so we have participants from, hello, the group of using the account of Rodine Lagos. Hello everyone, good to see you all. Yes, okay. So thank you so much, participants from District 1. Okay, now let's call on the participants from District 10. If you're from District 10, Ma'am Elsa, excited kayo si Ma'am Elsa. Di ba, competitive kayo si Ma'am Elsa. If you're from District 10, oops, sa Gregorio A sa akin, I haven't said my instructions yet. Tora si Sir Randy, gauna na og 10. Wala pa ganing kakabalon sa akong istorya. If you're from District 10, you type in letter J. O, tara. Letter J. All right. All right, we have our participants from District 10 with letter J. O, ayan, si Ma'am Mercy, no, si Ma'am Ugaw, si Ma'am Nanef, hello, and all the other participants from District 10, thank you so much. Now we have, let's have our participants from District 2. From District 2, please type in asterisk. If you're from District 2, type in the chat box an asterisk. All right, Ma'am Elsa Benavides, still number 1. There, very good. Yep, so that's our participants from District 2. Thank you very much. What about our participants from, feeling na ko nang hunat na gyud ang kuan ani, District 9. From District 9, you type in number 9. Oh, Pap, si Ma'am Jeril. Oh, di ba kabalo na gyud siya. Ano, nag-prepare na mo daan? Kabalo na lagi mo. Hello, Ma'am Grace, Ma'am Fritzy, Sir Rowell, and everyone. Yep. Thank you so much, District 9. Now let's have District 3. For District 3, I want you to type letter Q. Letter Q as in Queen, for Queen Elizabeth. Oh, and Queen Milagros Mendoza. Letter Q. Hello, our participants from District 3. Thank you very much. And now let's have our participants from District 4. Oh, abi mi sa District 8 nga kamuna no, dili pa District 8, District 4 pa. Our participants from District 4, please type in the word, ayun na lang ng word. Sige, please type in period. Okay, if you're from District 4, period. Period. I hope no one's having their period so that we'll all have, a great day today. All right, Ma'am Grace, Sir Emil. I'm seeing Sir Joel there, not here. Because he's just sitting across my table. So yeah. Now that's from District 4. Thank you so much, participants from District 4. Now let's have District 8. If you're from District 8, since 8 is one of my most favorite numbers, so let's type in 8. Hello, admin. Kisang ka ni si admin. Ma'am Charity, Gimad. I suggest, guys, that you rename your names here in Zoom so that we could easily identify you. If you're using the account of your school, you can change it to the your school name and then your district. Just make sure you will be identified by your district. For example, Charity, Charity, and then dash this D8, so that you'd be, identified. So, yep. Dili sila ka-rename. Dili mo ka-rename. Sige, next time na lang. Dili mo ka-rename. Kay stricto ato ang kuan. Stricto ang kuan. Kaya tawag stricto ang ato ang panel. Now, thank you so much, District 8. Now, let's have District 7. Okay. District 7, since 7 is also one of my most favorite numbers, let's have District 7. Type in the number 7. Number 7 from District 7, Ma'am Rachel. First honor, Ma'am Rachel Pacaldo. Oh, Sierra isa. Rachel. Naman ang ubang District 7? District 7, type in the word, type in the number 7 in the chat box. 9 from Bongbong ES. Okay, Ma'am Lydia, you are acknowledged. Medyo nakuan si Ma'am Lydia, no? Like 7. Oh. Sir Fernando Sumundong. Yeah, one gadget lang. Okay, so the entire Kapukaw C is with, Ma'am, under the account of Ma'am Rachel. 9 from Bongbong. All right. So 7. I'm seeing 9. I'm not seeing 7 very much. I've seen only 2 7s. So, all right. Maybe you're using one device for the entire school. Now let's have District 5. For District 5, type in the word J. J as in goat. Charing. J as in jar. J. Okay. So Richard Lastimosa. Hello, sir. Sir Ian. Abti kasi Sir Ian. Oh, J. J gyud kay nganuman. Jean Veloso, ginang love of my life ni Sir Ayan. Huwag nang gituyo, gina ko nga letter J. Okay. Letter J, that's for District 5. And lastly, from District 6, type in the word X. Ay, X, word na noon. Type in the letter X. Yeah. Because it's the last letter for the word 6, right? X. Oh, first honor po ng ila ang PSDS, si Ma'am Annalyn. Right? So thank you so much, districts, for your participation. Now let's call on our participants from the CID. For the CID, type in the word CID. Predictable kayo, oy, grabe na June. Oh, first honor na po si Ma'am Elsa, ay si Ma'am Imelda na di ay. O, naghulat di gini si Ma'am Imelda nga tawgon ang CID aron siya gyud ang makauna og type. O CID, Giselle CID. Yes. Congratulations. Nganong na-admin naman inyong mga pangalan, Ma'am. More na automatic siya na Sir Louis Sanderloy o CID. Oh, very good. Thank you so much, our friends from CID. Now let's have from the SGOD. SGOD, you type in the word Mary had a little... Charing, joke lang. For CID, SGOD. Kung mga office mates, mandain no. For SGOD, type in the word good, as in good. So yeah, if you're from SGOD, type in the word good. Yeah, hello, everyone's here. EJ, Ate Yen, Ate Chen, Ate Langga, Sir Joel, and the rest are on a meeting, but we're using, one device as well. So that's it for the attendance check. Thank you so much to our participants, and may we learn a lot, and may we use this learning to make a better tomorrow. Thank you so much, Ate Joy. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you so Thank you so much, Miss Lian. And I believe that your beauty, your charm, your humor, your grace. I believe that the participants this morning are now being energized by your presence. Thank you so much, Miss John Lian. Okay, and to follow, ladies and gentlemen, is the presentation of the program flow of the activity that we shall be having this morning. And to do the honor of presenting to you the program flow, let us now give the floor to our education program supervisor for MTB MLE. Our virtual clap, please, to Ma'am Angelita M. Maribuho. Good morning, Ma'am Angel.
Hello, good morning, Joy, and thank you so much. Okay, so our schools division superintendent, Jean G. Veloso, assistant schools division superintendent, Myra Pimibato, CID Chief Anacleta Gakasan, SGOD Chief Susan Epifania Bicarpio, supervisors, school heads, head teachers, department heads, and to all the participants in this platform, a blessed Tuesday morning. Hello, kaway-kaway naman dyan. Say hello so that I can hear you. Open your microphone. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello, Angel. Hello.
Hi.
Angel. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, good morning. How are you today?
Better than yesterday.
Very good, thank you. Better than yesterday. How about the others?
Muy bien, guapo, pure buyag.
Praise God, Sir Jeffrey. Okay. This is day 2 of DepEd Ozamiz at your service, an online orientation for teachers and school leaders. Today, you will be hearing salient features of the division-initiated programs and projects from the Curriculum Implementation Division. This will be the flow of our presentation. Requesting Sir Desi Aninaw to please share the screen for our flow of the presentation. Sir Des. Requesting the host of this platform to please make Sir Desi our co-host so that he can share the presentation. All our presentations from the CID will be presented to us by Sir Desi Aninaw.
Good morning, Ma'am Angel.
Okay, so while Sir Desi is preparing together with the host, so I hope Sir Desi is now our co-host. Let me read the flow of our presentation. So the first presenter will be our Curriculum Implementation Division Chief, Ma'am Anacleta Gakasan, to talk about Project Show Up. This will be followed by yours truly. I'll be presenting about the Indigenous Peoples Education Project called DRIP. Then the third presenter will be EPS Jedmay Coronel. She will present to us about advance in science. EPS Loy will be the fourth presenter with Project Esteem. Our fifth presenter will be EPS Tatoy with Project APK. Sixth is Molas This will be presented to us by EPS Eulalio Rupinta. 7th will be the IPSAIL for ALS. 8th will be Tap and Smile by the Public Schools District Supervisors. In the afternoon, EPS May Idoliantes will present 4 projects. These are Crystal, Modularium, Click, and MLP. To be followed by EPS Pungase, who will present her MAPI catalog. I will be presenting another project, which is Project ATM. Then EPS Rosemary Abapo will present her project Kislap. And finally, Project Ride with EPS Araniego, who is on travel bound for Cagayan de Oro City. If in case the signal is unstable, EPS Imelda Pungasi will present Project Ride. After which, a video presentation on Thrive will be shown to us by Sir Desi Aninao. So I hope we can stay for the whole day and learn as much as we can for these initiatives from CID. Thank you very much. Take it away, Ma'am Chief. Please do the honors. I think you are now ready, Sir Des. Hello, Sir Desi.
Si
Sir
Ma'am.
Des, are you now a co-host?
Si Ma'am Gakasan. Nice one, this.
Hello? So I know you are all excited with the acronyms names mentioned. No, show up. Ano kaya to? Drip. No. So I hope we will help one another in carrying out these programs for the good of our learners. So we are here initiating projects, hoping and praying that this will help our learners attain all the skills in the curriculum guide, and they can use these skills as they face the real world.
Yes.
Hello, Sir Des. Okay, are we ready now, Sir Desi, for the presentation? Okay, Sir Desi, Anina is now starting to share. Okay, here we are. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual clap to our school CID Chief, Ma'am Anacleta Gakasan, the Division Curriculum Implementation Chief.
Sana all! Once again, big round of applause for
Hello, excuse me. Please turn off your microphone if you are not yet given the floor to speak. Thank you.
Okay, so my warm morning greetings to our Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Jean G. Veloso, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Myra Pinibato, to my colleagues in the Division Office, our dear school heads and teachers joining us in this activity today. Once again, good morning to all of you. The team, the CID team is so grateful to the management of DepEd Ozamiz City for giving us time to share with you all our initiatives. All these were conceptualized to serve our school heads, our teachers, and most importantly, our learners, with the hope that all of these initiatives can help raise the performance level of our learners even this time of new normal education. So this morning, as an opening salvo, I will be presenting to you the Enhanced Project Show Up Learning Community, or school heads' opportunity to work on and update in a professional learning community. Generally, in the recent school environment, there is an increasing recognition of the importance of the school heads and instructional leaders in supporting change and providing for education quality. In fact, school heads and instructional leaders have been identified by a number of researchers as the key element in the effectiveness of the organization. In view of the complex and changing context of education, instructional leadership gained attention by education higher authorities, and apart from it, various stakeholders are beginning to realize their key role in improving quality education for our learners. It is said, according to Dewey Hensley, the Chief Academic Officer of Jefferson County, Kentucky, in his research entitled Instructional Leaders, Guiding Schools to Better Teaching and Learning, there are 5 key responsibilities of
Chief Anna, na-mute ka ma'am.
Okay na? Hala.
Okay na,
So
Chief.
magsugod ko?
Thank you.
Sugod
Dili,
ko?
ma'am. Kanang bago lang gid, ma'am. Na-mute na.
Sige.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
so according to Dewey Hensley, the Chief Academic Officer, Jefferson County, in his research entitled The School Leaders and Instructional, the School Leaders as the Guiding, according to his research entitled The School or the Instructional Leaders Guiding Schools to Better Teaching and Learning, there are 5 key responsibilities of instructional leaders, namely, shaping a vision of academic success for our students. Second, creating a climate hospitable to education. Third, cultivating leadership in others. Fourth, improving instruction. And the last, managing people, data, and processes. So the above ascertainment has led to growing recognition that professional development of instructional leaders could contribute significantly to the improvement of their leadership practices. Hence, the Enhanced Project Show Up Learning Community has been conceptualized. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so Project Show Up is a division-initiated professional learning community which would serve as an avenue for instructional monitors and school heads to improve instructional leadership skills and knowledge through collaborative study, expertise exchange, and professional dialogue, facilitated by area experts for the purpose of improving educational aspirations and learners' learning outcomes. Okay, so It tends to address developmental needs of school heads and in conducting instructional supervision and giving technical assistance to teachers. It is characterized as a group of educators who meets regularly, shares expertise and knowledge, and works collaboratively for the purpose of improving teachers' teaching skills and academic performance of learners. Okay. This model opens a new system of collaboration between the division instructional monitors or the CID team and the school heads because they shall consider themselves as equal partners in collaboratively developing effective ways for quality learning to happen in schools. Okay. Actually, the project Show Up is the umbrella project of all division-initiated projects of education program supervisors, the public schools district supervisors, education program specialists in the ALS, and division librarian where it is a month where there is a monthly sessions to be conducted that would serve as an avenue for all project owners to discuss matters related to their project implementation. Okay. Then topics of concern of this project are purely on matters pertaining to curriculum implementation, which include but not limited to educational policies, practices of instructional leadership and management, content and pedagogy, learning assessment, learning resource management, and contextualization, and even implementation of different programs, activities, and projects of the department. So during the professional learning community, our instructional leaders will convene in order to discuss matters of concern that would clearly affect the performance of our learners. And topics of discussion during the session shall also serve as the discussion or the topics to be discussed during the school learning action cell. This is to ensure that there is alignment of topics between the project Show Up learning community and the school learning action cell sessions. So we have the following objectives of this project. This project will serve as the avenue for all special project owners for all the initiatives in the division to discuss and disseminate information regarding the implementation processes of the respective projects. This will also an avenue in order to enhance knowledge and skills of our school leaders in performing effectively their duties and functions as instructional leaders. This will also ensure a clear purpose, implementation coherence, and that instructional variety and differentiation should form part in conducting instructional supervision among teachers. Okay, next please. This project also will develop a culture of openness, collegiality, and trust among school heads by introducing effective and embedding norms and standards in conducting instructional supervision. This will also ensure appropriateness of topics for discussion during school learning action cell at the school level and will provide an avenue for school leaders to initiate interventions to improve teachers' classroom instructional skills and performance. So, Those are our objectives. So presenting to you the project implementation and the indicative timelines. Actually, Project Show Up has been conceptualized way back 2018. And for this year, all of our projects are enhanced. No, Dayon, we are going to present to you our annual plan for all of our projects in the division of Ozamiz City. So the first activity was the enhancing of this project with the following tasks. The enhancing of the project, then the submission of the project proposal to our ESDS for her recommendation of approval by our SDS, and this was done January 2022. The resources needed for human, of course, the SDS, ESDS, yours truly as the project owner with the EPSS, ESDSS, our EPSA, and librarian. Then for the physical, we have the project adjustment as to target activities and timelines. Okay, next activity done was, next slide please, the finalizing the enhanced project Show Up learning community. And this was done by presenting this enhanced project to the CID members during our meeting and discussion, and even all of their projects were discussed for the enhancement of the different division initiative projects. Then we discussed with the team on the enhancement and the respective, we have the discuss also the adjustments we have done, and this was done January 2022. Then we come up with the project proposal brochures as our resources. For the financial, this is personal. No? We did not ask any financial support from the division, although we are using the materials given by our division in order to have the respective brochures now for our projects. Okay, next is okay, next slide please. After we enhance our project, we present this to you, and this is now our avenue for us to present to you our enhanced projects. This is with the Mancom family, with the school heads and teachers. We include also our teachers for you to be informed about our different projects. Our budget here is only 500 pesos personal for the brochures. Next is, after this presentation, our next step is the implementation of this project, and we will be drafting the division memoranda regarding the implementation of the different division initiated projects. Then we will prepare the matrix of activities for the monthly session of the Project Show Up Learning Community. So expect that we will be conducting a monthly Show Up Learning Community with the school heads, education program supervisors, public schools district supervisors, and school heads. And we will be asking a little amount for the support, production, and the preparation of our memoranda for the different projects, because we will be using, for example, the bond paper for the preparation of our memoranda. And this will be done by the respective project owners. Okay, because this is the umbrella project, so involved also are the different project owners. No? Okay, next will be the supervision of the implementation of different division initiative projects, and also supervision of the conduct of the Slack sessions using the unified topics for discussion. We will be giving you some topics for you to discuss during your Slack sessions. That would be that would include topics about our implementation of our DIPs. This will be done whole year round and involved in this activity, of course, our SDS, ESDS, yours truly, and the CID project owners, and also the school heads. Next is monitoring and evaluation year-round ni mahitabo. We will be monitoring the impact of the different division-initiated projects vis-a-vis the school head supervisory skills, okay, Nana. Okay, so during our monitoring, we will look into the outcomes of our projects, no? As to school head supervisory skills, improve school head supervisory skills, our teachers' instructional skills also, and of course, the learner's achievement. We'll be looking this one for this calendar year 2022. Then for the requirement of resources, of course, our SDS, our ESDS, the Chief ES, all the education program supervisors, the public schools district supervisors, and the school heads. For physical, we will be coming up with a monitoring tool, no? Then we will include also the instructional supervisory plan, the monthly accomplishment report of our supervisors and school heads, and also the learner's achievement. Of course, we'll be using our division vehicle, no? So we will be having the financial for the fuel of our division vehicles. And the last will be the giving of awards and recognition during our Guru Awards by December. We will be giving awards to project owners and school heads who successfully implemented the projects. This will happen on December 2022. And for the physical resources, we will be preparing for the plaque or the certificate of recognition to our project owners and also the school heads and even teachers. No? If we come up, of course, we will be having our awards and recognition of our school heads and teachers. And we will be asking financial support for our certificate of recognition worth 5,000 pesos. Okay. Next is the anticipated outcomes or the benefits. We have this one: in the light of the implementation of Project Show Up Learning Community, local key players and education involved in the project shall develop a culture of collaboration with an ultimate aim of improving school practices in order to achieve desirable evidence-based and quality learning outcomes. It is then that working together to improve students' achievement becomes a routine work of everyone in the division. As such, this professional learning community of its kind judges its effectiveness on the basis of results. So when we say the basis of results, we do expect improvement of our learners' performance because we conceptualize all these initiatives mainly to improve the performance level of our learners in different learning areas and in different grade levels. Consequently, school heads are updated in current trends and thrust of the department, thereby cascade their acquired knowledge and skills to teachers while motivating them to share a vision of promoting student learning. With this, we do hope that all our internal stakeholders, particularly the school heads and teachers, shall cooperate in the implementation of our division initiated projects. We could not do this without you, without your support, and of course, we'll be looking into the success of our projects. This is all for our learners. Thank you and good morning once again.
Thank you so much, Chief Anna. So that's our umbrella project of the CID. Project Show Up. I will be presenting to you the project this time of the education of the IPED or the Indigenous Peoples Program Education. So IPED, Indigenous Peoples Education Program. Requesting Sir Desi to present the slideshow. So we are very glad that our previous education supervisor in charge of IPED did a lot of achievements in her term. So now we received the amount of 800,000 pesos, and the amount will be divided for the said program. And hopefully, the trainings that we will be doing and the materials that we will be procuring will help in the continuity of education when it comes to Subanin. Okay. Sir Des, are we good? So there was a survey on the number and the names of IP learners. So those schools who failed to enter the names of their learners and to identify the percentage of the blood of such learner when it comes to their whether they are Subanin 100% or 75%, 50%, please do so. Advisors, school heads, please visit the link that we provided to you. If you fail to give the names of the learners and the advisors of those IP learners, please comply because we will be allotting some amount from the 800,000 pesos for the IPED implementation. So for the moment, we have IPED lesson plans in which the education program supervisors are checking. We also have the Subanin dictionary, Sobanin translation, RBI, and TBI lessons at our LR. Hello, Sir Des. Sir Desi. Ako, I'll be the next presenter. Project Drip. Sir Desi, Anina has started his presentation. Our connectivity is not that good, so we have to wait. Type in the chat box, yes, if you have entered the names of your learners, IP learners, in the Google form. Type yes in the chat box if you have entered the list of your learners in the Google form. Learners who are IP with 100% blood or 90 or 75 rather or 50%. Yes, so Cheryl Dumaog was able to enter the data. Thank you, Juvie also. Yes, very good. Cherry May Banghal, Clarinda Fe. Thank you. Who else? So, for those who failed to enter the data, please do so. We have a surprise for you. Sige, but not all, to the select learners only. You will know later with the project drip. Mercy, yes, she was able to enter the data also in the Google Drive. So it was shared and I will share it again. So in the Google Drive, no, the Google Drive that I was talking about. Hello, Sir Desi. Sir Des. So Sir Desi right now is sharing, but because of the connectivity, so we are so sorry with the connectivity that we are experiencing right now. It's not that good. Sir Des. It's the host disabled participant screen sharing. What is this? Lydia Salvador from Bungbong Elementary School was also able to enter the data. Okay. So what Okay, Sir Desi is now presenting. Kindly have it in PowerPoint presentation, Sir Des. Thank you. There you have it. So our program in IP is called Digitization of Resources for Indigenous Peoples Program in Education. In short, Project DREAM. So I am Angelita A. Maribuhok, your Education Program Supervisor in charge in Indigenous Peoples Education. Same is true in Mother Tongue, Kindergarten, and Early Language Literacy and Numeracy. You can see on the picture, no, social ang atong mga IPED pohon because they will be provided with tablets. So, Indigenous Peoples Education was institutionalized way back 2011. So, if we are going to think of that, we are now 2022. So, matagal-tagal na. Currently, Ozamiz City Division has subanin storybooks, subanin grammar translation, subanin dictionary, and subanin lessons in radio-based instructions and TV-based instructions readily available at DepEd Ozamiz Learning Resource Management System with the focal person here, Mami. She is organizing all those data. However, some of our Subanin learners cannot access such learning resources. So this project is conceptualized. We believe that by providing offline resources using the tablets as storage of Subanin lessons, we will be able to ensure the continuity of Subanin education. Indigenous Peoples Education is anchored on DepEd Order number 62, series of 2021, regarding the National Indigenous Peoples Education Policy Framework. The policy adopts a rights-based approach and directs the implementation of an education that is anchored on social and cultural context of IP learners. IPED program promotes the rights of indigenous communities and learners to an education that is responsive to their context. It respects their identities, promotes their knowledge systems, their competencies, and the values that are important to them, and of course, the other aspects of their heritage. To inspire our IP learners and become proud of their roots, tablets loaded with Indigenous Peoples lesson will be lent to them. Project digitization of resources in Indigenous Peoples Program education aims to procure tablets for IP learners. We are now in the process of procuring our tablets. The proposals, the work and financial plan, the materials that are required or documents that are required are already forwarded to AO Joy, AO Joy Iting. So that's our first goal, is to procure tablets for IP learners. And our next is to install Subanin storybooks, Subanin grammar translation, Subanin dictionary, Subanin self-learning modules, Subanin radio-based instruction, and Subanin TV-based instructions in the tablets. In coordination with our LREPS, May, and with our IT team and the LR team, I know we can install all those resources in the tablets. Next is to lend or provide tablets to select grade 3 IP learners who are 100% by blood. So not all learners, not all IP learners will be given, but only those who are 100% by blood. And of course, this can be shared at home. Next objective is to develop the love for Subanin culture. For the project implementation and indicative timelines, for the pre-implementation activities, we had the preparation of the required documents such as work and financial plan, purchase request, proposal, and project procurement management plan, as well as the presentation of this project. This is in March. So we are still in the timeline. And of course, this is done by the EPS in IPED, focal person of IPED, and we only need a PowerPoint presentation and a brochure. Later, I will show you the brochure. And for the financial resources, the division in OOE, and also the IPF funds. For the implementation activities, the first is we are going to, the previous slide, please, sir. Okay, for the implementation activities, the first is the procurement of the tablets, which is now in the 50% stage. Then the loading of the IPED resources in the tablets once the tablets will arrive, and the distribution of the tablets, orientation on the use of the tablets, IPED exhibition in reading Subanin stories, spelling, storytelling using the Subanin language. For our procurement, our target is in April, so we are ahead of time. For the orientation and distribution, it will be in May. For our exhibition of reading Subanin stories and spelling and storytelling using Subanin language, it will be on September 2022. And the persons involved in here are the EPS in IPED, EPS in LR, EPS in ICT, the teachers, the school heads, PSDS, the CID chief, and the supply officer. So our resources that we need are the tablets and the electronic resources in IPED. Of course, the funding is from the IPED funds. For the monitoring and evaluation activities, so monitoring on the effectiveness of the tablets loaded with IPED resources. It will be done from May 2022 and onwards. So who will monitor? So all of us from the division office with SDS, ESDS, CID chief, EPS, PSDS, and the school heads will monitor it. And then for the physical resources, we need a transportation. Nothing to worry for us because we are so blessed because our LGU is providing us vehicles with fuel. So financial resources here will be the division MOOE and the SEF funds because we will be utilizing the vehicles from the LGU and the gasoline also provided by them. So monitoring and evaluation of the project, digitization of resources for Indigenous Peoples Program in education shall be done quarterly. The advisor of the tablet recipient shall record activities using his or her cell phone on activities conducted using the tablets as viewing the lessons in the gadgets. So we have our cell phones, when the child is using the gadget, you just record it. And then during the reading activities of the e-books, you also record it. And then mag-storytelling pud mo in your school with your IP learners using the Subanin language and a lot more of initiatives that you can do. And the storytelling, aside from the storytelling, we also have the spelling bee or reading exhibition. We will not have it in a competition, but just an exhibition. It shall be done during the IP month, and this will be on September to display their gained skills using the said gadgets. So this is our brochure, no? Our project consultants and implementers, we have Ma'am Jean, Ma'am Myra, Chief Anna, and yours truly until the teachers in IP. The IP implementing schools. Next, please. So let's work together in educating our IP learners and in preparing them for the future. Thank you very much and have a good day. Take it away, Miss Jet.
Thank you so much, Miss Angel. Sir DC, pwede na nato makuan. Okay na ya. Ito o Okay, shall we start now? A bountiful morning to each and everyone. Presenting to you the pet project of Project Advance in Science entitled Digitization of Self-Learning Materials, or the SLMs, to Interactive Learning Materials using Kutubi. With me in this project is Mr. Marvin Tosoy, secondary school teacher 3 of Ozamiz City National High School, in which this project will run from January 2022 to May 2022. Next, please. So the digitization of self-learning modules to interactive materials using Kutubi is anchored on Project Advance in Science under the two categories, namely Advance in Curriculum Instruction with the objective to increase student achievement and performance in conducting scientific research, and also Advance in Innovative Learning Resources with the objective to upgrade teaching learning process, prompting a shift in class mode to distance learning. So despite the fear caused by the COVID-19, the government and educators from the private and public sectors worked hard to reaffirm their commitment in providing quality education to all learners, prompting a shift in class mode to distance learning. The education services occur in one of the four ways: could be limited face-to-face, distance learning, blended learning, and homeschooling. Steadfast in its preparation for school year 2021 to 2022, the Department of Education, especially our division of Ozamiz City, continuously provided self-learning modules with alternative learning delivery modalities to various learners across the Philippines or in Ozamiz City. With the assistance and support of the local government unit of Ozamiz City in giving the learners the necessary learning device such as tablets, our grade 7 learners from Ozamiz City National High School, STE curriculum, and also from OXAT, or Ozamiz City School of Arts and Trade, pilot class for STE were given, provided by the LGU with tablets. The division of Ozamiz City then simply looked into the integration of this technology into online distance learning programs, pushed a novel method of instruction known as the ebook, and concluded a digitization of self-learning modules into interactive learning materials using Kutubi Author. In this project, the self-learning modules of grade 7 research under Science, Technology, and Engineering program will be converted to an ebook. A digital version of a printed book that can be read on a computer or an ebook reader for the learner to explore new learning style, address the learner's boredom in accomplishing the SLMs, and evaluate the learner's learning needs and gaps. Next, please. Sir Desi, next, please. Okay. So what is the primary goal of this project? The primary goal of this project is to employ digital and interactive supplementary learning materials to enhance the learner's academic performance in grade 7 research of the schools implementing in science, technology, and engineering program. For now, this will be utilized after this activity. Once we have already the SLMs or the ebooks, this will be utilized by the STE program implementing schools like OCNHS and OCSAT. But eventually, if okay ang atong result, we can distribute these or allow other regular classes in science research to utilize these modules or these ebooks, I mean. So our specific objectives, specifically it aims to provide learners with ebook as interactive learning materials, utilize the interactive learning material in the conduct of synchronous and asynchronous classes, and make teaching learning process more interactive and promote awareness to students with regards to proper usage of technology or media. Next, please, Sir Jesse. Next slide. Okay, so how is the development of the interactive learning materials conducted? I'm going to present to you now the process. First is the development of the interactive learning materials. So, unsa mong gibuhat gani? Number 1 is identification of most essential learning competencies or the MELCs. This was done by identifying the research 7 lessons aligned in the most essential learning competencies. And then identification of teacher, writers, or developers. This was realized by identifying teacher experts in the field of research with the help of the school heads and the department heads. Then we have creation or issuance and dissemination of the vision memorandum. This was issued to inform the identified teacher, writer, developers on the scheduled task and what is activity all about. Then we have orientation of identified teacher, writers, or developers. This was done through online orientation to teachers about using Kutubi Author application, Kutubi Reader application, Adobe Photoshop, and other digital applications. Next to that, we have making of interactive learning materials. This is made possible through the expertise of the identified teacher writers or developers with MELCs as their guide with the technical assistance of the school heads and master teachers. Then, monitoring and evaluation to check progress. This is done during and after every development of the interactive learning material to track the project's progress and when changes may be needed. And submission of progress report to the CID chief. This is done to provide the CID chief with information on what's going on, the challenges met, and make recommendations to better the expected outputs. And then submission of final report to the school's division superintendent. This is done to provide the school's division superintendent with a brief look at some of the outputs and possibly make recommendations for improvement. With the implementation of these activities, we are expected to finish the project within 111 days. So it's from January up to May 2022. Okay, let me share to you the work plan. So in identification of the MELCs, we have conducted this already. That was last January 2022 with the following persons responsible: the EPS of science, that's myself, the writers and the developers. The resources are the EPS in science teachers teaching with the subject and the MELCs. Then last January also, we conducted identification of teacher, writers, developers. And then we also created our group chat. Next, please. Next slide, please, Sir Desi. Then last February 2022, we have already the orientation of teacher, writers, developers. In here, I oriented. With me was Mr. Marvin Tosoy of Ozamiz City National High School. In here, we oriented the teacher, writers, developers in what to do, on what are some of the apps, aside from the Kutubi applications that we will be using. Then also in the month of February, we have the issuance and dissemination of the vision memorandum for us to be guided well. And for the making of interactive learning materials, we have the time frame February to May. So it expected at the end of May na ang ato ang mga interactive materials or the ebook for the SLM's research, grade 7 research. Okay, next slide, please, Sir Jesse. Then the monitoring and evaluation to check progress will be conducted from month of February to May. So person responsible for this is myself and also our CID chief. As what I had said, we have to submit report every now and then as to the progress of what we've been doing in this project. So the submission of progress report to the CID chief, that will happen this February up to May. And then the submission of final report to our schools division superintendent will be this coming May 2022. Next slide, please, Redisi. So what are our anticipated outcomes? Why are we doing this? So to the implementation of this project, the following are the anticipated outcomes. Created an experientially flexible interactive learning supplemental learning material in synchronous and asynchronous classes. 100% of these interactive learning supplemental materials are distributed to grade 7 research teachers of the implementing Science and Technology Engineering program. At least 90% of the learners who receive the material shall have increased the learners' progress and achievement.
Digitization.
At least
Project
the
digitization.
digitization.
Computer.
Ma'am Jed, pwede ka pwede na-mute ka, Ma'am Jed. Pwede pa unmute ka, Jot. Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Please carry on. Thank you.
Let's have now number 3 anticipated outcomes. At least 90% to 100% of the learning competencies attained by the learners after performing the activities reflected in the interactive learning supplemental learning materials. Then submitted on time progress report of the project to the Chief ESCID and the SDS for suggestions and recommendations. Next, please. At least 90% of the teacher, writers, or developers who made the materials felt appreciated by their efforts as seen in the certificate of recognition received. Okay. So there will be now 20 self-learning materials which we are going to convert to interactive learning materials using Kutubi Author. And what are these materials? Next, please. Next slide, please. Okay, the number of modules in every quarter. In the first quarter, as you can see, we have to convert 7 SLMs to ebook. In the second quarter, we have 5. In the third quarter, we have 5 also. And in the last quarter, that's quarter 4. Sorry, quarter 4, we have 2. We have only 2, pero kini ang pinakalisod katrabahoon sa mga bata when it comes to research. Okay. Next slide, please, Rodes. So for your reference, we have the Divisional Memorandum Number 004, Series of 2022, which is entitled Digitization of Self-Learning Modules, or the SLMs, into Interactive Learning Materials using Kotobi Author. May I present to you, give me the chance to present to you our teacher, writers, and developers. We have Jameson A. Monreal of Ozamiz City National High School, Ilona Jane Arbos Kagan of Ozamiz City National High School, Flor T. Capuno of Ozamiz City National High School, Giselle May V. Dinolos, the same school, Ali M. Canonio of Ozamiz City National High School, Nidilyn R. Preti of Ozamiz City National High School, Melvin B. Arcangel of Ozamiz City National High School. We have also May Lady Rose C. Kalinga, Mabel B. Villagonzalo of Ozamiz City Schools of Arts and Trades, then Christine D. Tingkang of Oxat, Lolipid C. Herbacio of the same school, Raymart A. Boreros, Catherine C. Fuentes, Heidi P. Dulucol, Reyna May Apaton, Ami Y. Reyes, Yoni Gualberta El Bernido, Jason Madunero, Rowena Isbanwa of Ozamiz City National High School, and of course, one of the proponents of this project, Mr. Marvin Istasoy. So that's all for Project Advance in Science, ladies and gentlemen. The digitization of self-learning materials to interactive learning materials using the Kotobi applications rather. This is Jedmay F. Coronel, your education program supervisor in science, always at your service. Good morning once again.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Jed, for that project advance. Okay, now let's move on to project STEAM. So can we have the slides now, Sir Desi? Okay, so this is Project STEAM. STEAM simply means enhancement of students and teachers in TLE through e-learning and engagement methodologies. And the proponent for this would be yours truly, your education program supervisor in EPP TLE TVL, Louis Sanders C. Lu. Next slide, please. For the project overview or description, the Department of Education adheres to have a balance between quality education and the safety and well-being of the learners, teachers, and personnel amid COVID-19 pandemic. The leader of the department, the DepEd Secretary Lenore M. Briones, stressed that education must continue taking into account all proactive measures to ensure that necessary and relevant adjustments in the curriculum, learning resources, delivery platforms and modalities, and support to the teachers and the parents are well placed as reflected in the division continuity plan. Next slide, please. DepEd Ozamiz City Division being the implementing unit of the department's endeavors, particularly in Edukasyon Pantahanan at Pangkabuhayan, EPP, Technology Livelihood Education, TLE, and Technical Vocational Livelihood, TVL, is committed to develop and implement plans, programs, and projects in the EPP, TLE, TVL curriculum for the delivery of quality, relevant, and inclusive basic education, and provide leadership in nurturing Filipino learners imbued with values and competencies. Next slide. With that, Project STEAM has been proposed to achieve this through our core functions of curriculum implementation and effective school administration and governance with strong linkage to our stakeholders. project's team envisioned to accomplish 4 activities for the calendar year 2022, which are as follows. Next slide, please. First, development of senior high school TVL self-learning modules. Okay, the division office of Ozamiz City is giving its full support to the regional-led development of senior high school TVL SLMs. Among the 43 TVL specializations without SLM, which are offered in Region 10, has been distributed to the 14 divisions. In fact, the division is assigned to develop 3 SLMs, namely Contact Center Services NC2, Automotive Servicing NC1, and Automotive Servicing NC2. It has been agreed upon by all education program supervisor. Next slide, please. Next slide, sir. Supervisors in TLE that all the developed SLMs by each division will be shared to all the division in the region. An excellent accomplishment for all in Region 10 to have all the senior high school TVL specialization equipped with the necessary learning resource suited to the needs of the time. Next slide. Number 2. Okay, second is to create television-based instruction, TBI, for the most essential learning competencies for EPP5. Okay, in order to improve the delivery of quality education, additional learning resources is necessary to bridge the gap. As of the moment, no quality assured TBI is available at hand for EPP5. However, quality assured EPP5 SLMs can be used to develop the needed TBI materials for the learners. Next slide, sir. Okay, so the third would be enhancement of teachers' qualification through acquiring national certificates on their specific field with specialization. The need to improve is never-ending process. This is one of the priorities to make the teachers qualified to the respective TLE TVL assignment. It can be noted that a number of teachers are not aligned and not qualified to teach a specific qualifications are still teaching the qualification. With that, quality education may be compromised. In order to resolve such, it is necessary for teachers to be qualified in order to teach the qualification. And lastly, number 4, next slide, sir. Okay, the fourth will be for the students. This is to participate in the Joint Delivery Voucher Program, JDVP, for senior high school TVL specialization. Dili na kumayaw-yaw kay madunggan pa ko? Okay, so I will just continue. Senior high school learner enhancement for the needed skills in the respective TVL specializations are catered through the government initiative enhancement program called JDBP SHS TVL. It is through this program that each senior high school TVL learner is given scholarships to private TVIs for the training and, if time permits, acquire the needed national certificate. Full support to its implementation for the benefit of the learners is given priority and is a must. Those are the 4 initiatives that TL is planning to perform for the current year. Now, next slide, please. So for the objectives, in order to achieve those initiatives, the major goal or projects team is to develop and implement plans, programs, and projects in the EPP, TLE, TVL curriculum for the delivery quality, relevant, inclusive basic education. Specifically, it aims to, number 1, develop senior high school TVL SLM for contact center services NC2, automotive services, automotive servicing NC1, and automotive servicing NC2. Second is to produce TVI materials for EPP5 quarter 1 to 4. Third, negotiate opportunities for teacher enhancement through test the scholarship to acquire the needed qualification to teach the specific TVL specialization. And lastly, participate in the JDBP Senior High School TVL for enhancement of skills among senior high school learners. Now, next slide, please. For the work plan, in order to achieve those objectives, okay, we have here for the first initiative, the development of senior high school TVL self-learning modules. This is actually started last January, and hopefully we'll be ending this one this coming April 2022, so that those SMN can be used by the learners this coming school year. No? So January 2022 to April 2022 will be the timeline for the development of senior high school TVL SLS. Next slide, sir. For the second initiative, which is to create television-based instruction for the most essential learning competencies for EPP5. Timeframe for this will be this coming May to June. Okay, we already have started this one last year. We created TVI for quarter 3 and 4. Hopefully this year we will continue that one with quarter 1 and 2, so that the entire all quarters rather for grade 5 or EPP5 will have, okay, the TVI resources for the most essential learning competencies. Next slide, sir. Now, the third initiative is on the enhancement of teacher qualification through acquiring national certificate on their specific field of TVL specialization. This will be on July 2022 to September 2022. And in fact, right now, I have already I already asked the schools to submit the list of those who do not have TM1 for their qualification, so that the central office can give some scholarships on this one for the coming months. So we already have the list of possible TM scholars for this school year. And lastly, next slide, sir. For the last initiative, this is for the next slide, sir. Let me see this is right. Okay. Oh, pero akong slide wala naglihok, sir. Oh, wala lagi.
Good morning to the 66 participants who are joining us in this link. We are actually experiencing a power interruption as of the moment. Please stand by. We will be back later.